The former head of NATO is telling me that the alliance has given the United States a lot, despite President Trump's claims of getting nothing. Jens Stoltenberg, who is of course now the finance minister of Norway, he stepped down as NATO Secretary General at the end of 2024. I spoke to the minister before news of the deal on Greenland. He told me his reaction to Donald Trump's remarks, the rather polemic speech that was given today.
Of course, that is an important message, because up to now many were afraid that he actually was going to threaten to use force to acquire Greenland. At the same time, I think it's very important to convey the same message as Norway, as many others have done for a long time now. That is that Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, and borders and territorial integrity should be respected by all countries, including, of course, all NATO allies and the United States.
Right. And the difficulty now is, having made that important statement, the President of the US spent the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes saying, we want Greenland, we need Greenland. NATO's never given us anything. NATO needs to give us Greenland.
My most important message on that is that NATO has given the United States a lot. NATO has given for all these decades since 1949 enhanced security. NATO is good for Europe, but NATO is also good for the United States. The only time we have invoked Article 5 was after an attack on the United States, 9/11. And of course, the US is big, 25% of the world's GDP. But together with friends and allies, it's 50% of the world's global economy and 50% of the military might. So NATO makes also the United States stronger and safer.
Right. So having had many roles, I just want to find it. You know, the President of the US published the text of text between himself and the Prime Minister. And now everybody seems to be putting out. How difficult is it for office holders like yourselves if somebody starts publishing your private texts and messages?
Of course, it becomes much more difficult to communicate in that way, or at least when you communicate with text messages, you need to be prepared that it may become public. I think that to text is a very useful way of communicating, but of course, when they get published, then you have to be more careful.
On this question of European economies, the economies of Europe are doing well. Christine Lagarde said that here. Norway is doing well. Norway is in a uniquely privileged position because of this vast sovereign fund that you have. Are you happy with where you are?
Well, there are challenges also for the Norwegian economy. We have an aging population. We need to finance that with more pensions and more elderly care. But compared to many other countries, we are in a good position. Partly or mainly actually because a very large portion of the Norwegian people are working, and that adds to our growth, but also because of we have the Sovereign Wealth Fund. But the Sovereign Wealth Fund is actually something that the Norwegian people created, because I have been Minister of Finance before, back in '96, and at the beginning of that year we had zero money in the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and then we decided to save all the revenues and only use the financial return. And by doing that, we have now been able to build a big fund by political decisions taken by Norwegians.
How difficult is it to stand firm when everybody wants to dip in, and everybody can always find an excuse? Oh no, Minister, just this year, just 0.5%.
Yes,
It's pensions, hospitals.
It is difficult, and of course for most countries it's difficult to spend money you don't have.
You've got it!
The problem for us is to not spend money we have. But the message is that the oil wealth belongs to many generations.
Choose your colour first, choose your colour.
Red.
He's telegraphing a message. The minister's clear.
But then this is about what creates hope.
What gives you hope?
And I will join those who said history, because because actually, if you look back, things are moving in the right direction. I just was together with Bill Gates in a panel where we addressed global health, and child mortality has gone down over the last decades. Life expectancy has gone up. More people can read and write than ever before. So if you look at some of those fundamental values or indicators of human progress, the world is still moving forward.